Welcome in. It's the Monday Scorecard. I'm your host, Travis Fulton. Let me be the first to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your family and your friends. Eat a lot, watch a little football, throw the pigskin around a little bit, and maybe even a little golf in certain parts of the country. And golf was being played all over the world this last weekend. How about this ending to the fall series that we've seen on the PGA Tour? First, Brendan Todd, right? He comes back from the full swing yips. We talked about him last week and his story on the Monday Scorecard, and it's a terrific one, back-to-back wins. And then we finish up at the RCM Classic just up the road here in Sea Island, and we're treated to this guy by the name of Tyler Duncan, coming in ranked 378th in the world, and he wins his first professional event. And it just happens to be on the PGA Tour, the RCM Classic. His biggest win up to this point, how about this? The Indiana State Amateur. What a fall series we've seen. Tiger wins, Rory wins, Brendan Todd comes back from the basement back-to-back times to get a couple wins, and now Tyler Duncan to finish up the fall series. I'm pretty sure only in professional golf will you see that array of names and world rankings getting into the winner's circle. But the big story to me over on the European Tour, DP Tour World Championship race to Dubai, all coming to a conclusion over the weekend, equivalent to what we see on the PGA Tour with the Tour Championship in Atlanta, the FedEx Cup, all coming to an end there. And Jon Rahm needed to make birdie on the last hole to win it all. Okay, he makes birdie, he wins the tournament, DP Tour World Championship, and the race to Dubai, the perfect ending for $5 million large. And I remember when I was young, I used to play the last hole, got to make birdie to win it all, to win the Masters, to win the US Open, right? Or just on the putting green, got to make this putt to get the job done. Well, that's what Jon Rahm was facing. He needed to make birdie. He was tied with Fleetwood. Fleetwood was in the clubhouse, and he gets it up and down and makes birdie. And here's what he has to say afterwards. He says, quote, "Somehow I can't explain it. It was about as calm as I can be, and honestly, I felt really, really confident." And that doesn't surprise me, because since I've been following Jon Rahm's career, he strikes me as someone who wants the club and the ball in his hand to get the job done. He doesn't want to be in the clubhouse waiting. He wants the club and the ball in his hand to make birdie, to win it all. And that's exactly what he's done. Now, we know Jon Rahm is a great player, right? We know he's got the game to win and win often and get a major championship, because that's what he's missing at this point. He's missing a major championship. So let's give this a little perspective in Jon Rahm's career to this point. That was his 6th European Tour win. It's taken him 40 starts to this point. Tiger did it in 26 starts. Seve did it in 55 starts. So think about that. 15 less starts for Jon Rahm to get his 6th European Tour win. Now, keep in mind also, Jon is 25 years of age. I think over here in the States, we're not quite sure maybe where to put Jon Rahm in this category of great players. He's currently now up to number 3 in the world rankings after that win. Koepka first, Rory second, Rahm third, DJ fourth, JT, and then Cantlay. And then Tiger rounds it out down there at the 7th spot. So where is Rahm, right? Where do we put him over here as that next great player that we all got to watch? And he's going to climb all the way up to number 1, or he's going to kind of hang out between that 3 and 8, 9, 10 world ranking mark. When I think of Jon Rahm, I go back to the Players' Championship. Back in March, he opened up 69, 68, 64, right there to go and win the Players' Championship, which is not a major, of course. It's the 5th major, but it's a huge tournament. And you recall Jon hit it over on the left-hand side of 11, the par 5. Had an awkward lie. The ball was in the bunker, and Jon took a long iron, was going to try to hook it around the water there and into the front part of the green, or the front portion of the green area. And his caddy tried to talk him out of it, right? And Jon kind of snapped back, and anyway took the 4-iron and tried to hit a hook, and it went in the water. And he finished up shooting 76. But a little bit of a heated exchange, and we know Jon can be a little bit hot under the collar. But is that something that he's going to continue to improve upon and be strong mentally and make the right decisions through adversity to win big tournaments like the Players' Championship, to win big tournaments like the Major Championship? And I think he is. I think we're seeing a maturation with Jon Rahm. But since that time at the Players, all right, since that time at the Players, he's had 14 starts, okay? 14 starts. He's got 7 top threes. Think about that. 14 starts, half the time in the top 3, and 10 top 10s. So we talk about hot players. We talked about, Brendan Todd. We've talked about Rory McIlroy. Jon Rahm is on fire. He was playing pretty good golf coming into the Players in 2019, and he's been playing even better since that moment in the final round, shooting 76 and kind of throwing away the Players' Championship. He was right there to win it all. But this guy is playing some great golf. So for me, my opinion with Jon Rahm, I think he's exactly where he needs to be. He's 3rd in the world rankings right now. And I think we're going to see him stay now in the top 5. I think we're going to see him stay in the top 5. I think we're going to see him clip off a major championship here in the next 2 years. His best finishes to this point: the Masters 4th, PGA 4th, US Open 3rd, the Open Championship 11th. He's right where he right where he needs to be right now. Major Championship is coming in the next 2 years. You're going to be seeing more wins both in Europe and on the PGA Tour. He's got the total game. Short swing, powerful off the tee, hits a ton of fairways. He wins in strokes gain approach, which you need to do. I think he's a good short game player, and I think he's becoming a great putter again. He struggled a little bit in 2018 with the flagstick, but I think he's back to being a great putter. And I think that one question mark, that little heat that runs under the collar once in a while, right, that maybe skews us from making good decisions like we've seen from Jon in the past, like we saw him at the Players' Championship, I think he gets better. I think Jon's a smart kid. I think he seems to have a really good team around him. And I think he's a top 5 player in the world that's going to be winning a lot for years to come all over the world.